Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm back for Smackdown. I say I'm back because it's been quite a long time since I've recorded. Just due to the fact that I took a break. Took a small break in between, but we should have, moving forward, be on the way to Night of Champions. But we have the first Superstars and Smackdown at the Fallout of Over the Limit 2013. So let's just jump right into Superstars. So we have a tag team match, Dark Show, testing out a new team of arrivals. You might have seen him in the thing there, which it's Terry Raves and Major Riot, which is a repackaged Crit Hawkins. My phone went off. Fucking kill me. Terry Raves' gimmick is awful, which, I mean, I guess that is reflective of Terry Raves, but Terry Raves is Terry Raves, and just the Dragon Aces pick up the win after Yoshitatsu hits Major Riot with the Dragon Strikes. So, good to see Dragon Aces get on the show. I've kind of neglected them. Tanahashi with a 71, just picking up there, and I believe he's improving in performance, so that's awesome. Next we have a Raw recap, which is just recapping the Championship Scramble situation. If you're wondering what that is, watch Raw, or else you won't know. But yeah, which the four people we know out of the five are Kofi Kingston, Wade Barrett, CM Punk, and Evan Bourne. Those are the 4 out of 5 people in the Championship Scramble for the WWE Championship. Next we have a 8-man tag, which gets a 71B, and it's a poor match apparently, but these ratings aren't that bad. In which it's Tokyo Pimp, the United States Champion, Justin Gabriel, and the Second City Selfies taking on Frankie Kazarian, Derek Bateman, and the West Virginian Canadian Connection, or WVCC, because I'm creative. Cole Cabana gets the win on Derek Bateman with the Chicago Crabs, so, the faces take home the win in the big 8-man tag on Superstars. I might have mentioned it. Yeah, no, I did. I went to Raw, so as of this recording, it's the March 23rd, so I was at the March 18th, I believe that would be Raw. And they filmed the main event. And not only were the Revival on main event, but they wrestled, and they didn't wrestle on the main show, which just made everyone in the crowd sad. They lost to, the Lucha Dragons and, Titus O'Neil. But, the Ascension got pinned, because fuck the Ascension. But on the same note, Curt Hawkins wrestled one of the Authors of Pain, and the entire crowd thought that was the greatest shit of all time. The crowd was actually very, and this is just the thing I thought, because this is my first Raw live experience. A lot of improvements. The crowd was very active. I don't know how it was on TV, I haven't watched it, but the crowd was very active. We were cheering a lot, people were yelling a lot, especially in my segment. We tried to boo the CM Punk chants during the Kurt Angle match, which was just bullshit. It's his last match. Don't be a dick. Plus, fuck CM Punk, he's gone, what do you want? But, all regards to anything, moving on, let's move on to the next segment, just me ranting a bit. And we have The Miz cutting a promo, which on next week on Raw, he will be involved in the last main match to see who will be involved in it, and he will have a match against Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. And so it's a triple threat to see who will be in that championship scramble. And The Miz just kind of cuts a promo on Randy, and a little bit of Wyatt. But mostly on Orton. And then he has a matchup. He just gets a quick victory over Trent Beretta, trying to mix 2 people together just to see, trying to improve Trent's stock in the company. I haven't used Trent Beretta a lot, but he's a mid-carder at this point. He was built up, so, might as well use him. And, he does go toe-to-toe with The Miz for about 15 minutes, but eventually The Miz hits him with the skull-crushing finale. And we have another segment here in which we see Beth Phoenix and AJ Lee are brawling. Again, they've brawled a lot. I'll be the first to admit, I didn't really think the storyline is kind of... This is I have a lot of storylines planned out, and then there's storylines like these that are just kind of organic. So if that's... And again, it's Superstars, what do you want? What do you want me to do? And next, we do have an interesting segment, though. Speaking of superstars, we see the camera is sneaking in on the offices of WWE. Oh my god, I just rammed my fucking desk. This angle has me that excited. So we see John Cena with his World Heavyweight Championship. He's sitting down, and Mr. McMahon's yelling. Triple H is yelling. Shawn and Stephanie are just kind of like there, just like, oh my god, this is a pain in the ass. And John Cena just says nothing, doesn't even look him in the eye. So clearly something interesting's going on there. We don't know what they're arguing about. We can't hear them, but clearly something's going up. So probably Mean Gene and everyone else on commentary is, what the hell's going on? And we have our main event, which actually did pretty shitty, I'll have to be honest. Thought it might do a little better. In which we have Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger taking on the team of Common Ground, in which Jack Swagger picks up the win on Mason Ryan with the Cut-Wrench Bower Bomb. But afterwards, or not afterwards, during the match, we had Kevin Nash distract Jack Swagger. So, kind of building that storyline up a little bit. What can you say? I wanted to get them on the card. I also wanted to get Common Ground on the card. Because they're decent for what they're worth. Some worker improvements. And we have a pre-show match in which Chris Hero defeats Alexander Rusev with the Hangman's Elbow. Just a post-show match. Or not pre-show, post-show match, I'm sorry. No improvements. So we get a B+, 83. Rusev and Tyler Breeze were used too much. Fuck you, I can do what I want. So I will see you guys all for SmackDown. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, we're here with SmackDown, and on a second note, I don't know if you can hear a fan going off, but I'm not going to turn it off because it's hot as hell, and I really don't care. So, we open up Raw with Christian. He's lost his essentially, not his retirement match from wrestling, but essentially he's forced to quit WWE. And Christian is shown walking down the hallways. I saw him look on his face. He's bandaged up after Cena beat the crap out of him. We see him talk to multiple superstars who all say he's been an inspiration. Like, he meets Zack Ryder first. They share a bro moment. He meets the Second City Selfies, and Colt Cabana and Tyler Breeze both say they were inspiration in forms of tag wrestling. AJ Lee says she wouldn't be anywhere. She wouldn't be near the Divas title without Christian's career. Trent Beretta shakes his hand. Goldust has a moment after they had that moment on the SmackDown. I believe it was a SmackDown right before, so last week's SmackDown. And even Mark Henry comes up to Christian and says, despite wanting to put him in the Hall of Pain, he's definitely has his respect after he took Cena supposedly to the limit. We don't really know, but, all things considered, yeah. So soon Christian, he makes his way out of this backstage, and we can see in the cameras that he moves across the curtain to talk to the fans one last time. But then John Cena runs up and just starts beating the crap out of him. What a bastard. So Cena runs out, and he's just got a steel chair, and he just whacks Christian multiple times, just whacking him and whacking him. Almost kind of like whacking him down the ramp. He does over until all of a sudden the crowd starts popping because they notice someone running out, and it's Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler makes his return. He runs off, Cena retreats. He actually runs into the ring because he can't go up the ramp because that's where Dolph came up. Dolph's got a mic, and he says he's sick and tired of Cena's crap. He's sick of all of Cena's bullshit. Just being a dick and just kicking everyone's ass. He wants to prove that he could go him, and he's using his rematch clause so he can kick his ass at Night of Champions. He wants his belt back, yada, yada, yada. But then all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre's music hits. Drew McIntyre comes out with a mic as well, saying the Chosen One won his match last Sunday. He should have a World Heavyweight Championship match, not Dolph Ziggler, who's tried and failed to stop him. Drew says Cena can act all vicious he wants. He's not comparable at all to the Scottish psychopath. And Cena responds with simply glaring at both men without a word as we go to our first commercial break of the evening. So, what does this mean for Christian? What I'm going to do is, I don't know how long he actually has on his contract. This wasn't a thing. I just did this to pretty much even out the playing field. Because essentially, at this point, I get, these, even with, like, ratings that only get me like 9 in pop. I'm still global and kicking everyone's ass. So in order to get the field, I thought I would cut some, not fat, but obviously I love Christian. That's why in the beginning of the game he was the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, not beginning of the game, but in the beginning of the when I started the recording it for YouTube. But I am going to let him for a little bit walk the fields, see how he does. I'm going to get rid of his contract, and I'm gonna see, maybe he'll go to Impact. I'll debrief you on how that goes. Maybe he'll even go to someplace like Ring of Honor, New Japan. Who knows? New Japan doesn't like me, so does Impact, so they might try and snatch him up. But yeah, there goes that. But we have confusion on who's gonna face John Cena at Night of Champions. Is it gonna be Dolph? Is it gonna be Drew? How do we go from here? And next we have a match between the Hart Dynasty and Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. And the Hart Dynasty getting a much-needed win when Tyson Kidd defeats Jack Swagger. He submits him with a sharpshooter, and he's able to get the sharpshooter locked on after Kevin Nash ran some interference. Mostly trying to see how the tag team is. They have great chemistry, Hart and Tyson Kidd, so that raised their performance up. Tyson Kidd's not suited to his gimmick. Alberto's is getting stale. I might have to change their gimmicks up a bit. Let me write that in the notes. Actually, Tyson Kidd and Alberto gimmick. I usually don't use notes. I usually use docs, but I thought that'd be fun to see. All right. And then we have Kevin Nash gets the shit kicked out of him. The Hart Dynasty, they haven't won in like months, so they're obviously running to the back because they're like, oh my god, we won. Alberto and Jack Swagger just start beating up Kevin Nash, and Rey Mysterio runs out trying to make the save, but he's still taped up from when Swagger and Berto beat him up, so of course they beat up him as well. It's just 2-on-2, just beating the crap out of each other, until all of a sudden, boom, Sting, it's the Icon. Sting clears house, sending Alberto and Swagger scampering to the back. The Icon of WCW just saved 2 legends of WCW. What does this mean, brother? Next, we have a small 1-minute video hyping up that we'll see Dolph Ziggler take on Drew McIntyre due to the opening of the show. No, we don't need a pre-book. And we have a champion versus championship match in which it's... Dang it, I forgot to add that. So this match would have done a little better had we not... Actually, Xavier Woods was tiring towards the end. That's really weird. In a decent match, we have the NXT Championship. We have the NXT Champion Xavier Woods taking on the Intercontinental Champion Ryback. Ryback gets the win after Curtis Axel distracted Xavier. Huh, that's weird. Why wouldn't Curtis Axel? He obviously, you know, a lot of people are in the mid-carders or in the NXT title hunt. But it just seems kind of weird that it's Curtis Axel. Like, what is his reasons? Why did he do that? Why did he cost the champ a match? We'll have to see that develop on later. And then we have AJ Lee and the Gatecrashers taking on the Photoshop, which is Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, the Bella Twins, and cheerleader Melissa. And we have AJ Lee picking up the win for her team when cheerleader Melissa, or just Melissa, I like the name cheerleader Melissa, submits to the Black Widow in 17 minutes 31 seconds. It cooled the crowd down. AJ Lee got the best performance overall. Cheerleader Melissa getting the worst with the 57, but it's still nothing bad. And we got some from Brie Bella's improving and flying. Oh god, please don't let her do a pancha. Don't let her do a suicide dive, brother. You won't like the results. Next we have... I thought this would do better. Dang it. We have... it's all Mark Henry's fault, because I rated him on Menace. While arguing with the tag champs, I like to imagine Zach and Sabin and Shelley. Sabin and Shelley like, dude, Detroit's the most awesome place ever. And Zach's like, dude, bro, New York is the best place ever. You know it. And then Mark Henry just flattens him like a fucking steamroller. Just runs him over and just beats the crap out of him. Michael Cole was weak at the announce desk, so it's all Michael Cole's fault. Fuck you, Michael. And you know, what more can you say? So now we have our main event of the evening. It's Drew taking on Dolph. Let's see how that match goes. In an 85, and I assume it's because of the ending? Yeah, the penalty type of finish. Drew McIntyre drew with Dolph Ziggler in 22 minutes when the match descended after chaos after John Cena gets involved, taking both men out. So Drew and Dolph are having a great match, all of a sudden, bam, John comes in and just whacks both Drew and Dolph. But he mostly goes after Drew. You gotta wonder if that comment of not being intimidating has gotten to John Cena's nerves. And John Cena's about to AA Drew viciously onto that steel chair when all of a sudden, bam, zigzag. Dolph Ziggler actually saves Drew McIntyre, question mark, as John Cena is forced to fall back for probably the first time since his reign. You know, the numbers game have gotten to John, and it's very evident that no matter what, you know, I think we kind of found the weakness of John Cena is that he can't really handle multiple people at once, so that's something, I guess. And we're going to end the show, see how we did. Got a 89A, probably up in 7 regions. Pretty good. I like this SmackDown. Some of the angles I was proud of. Like, I liked the Christian stuff. Kind of wish the Ziggler one. I went for that one. I thought I was just going to have Dolph win it. But, unfortunately, I decided to go with that. But, you know, whatever. And I thought this angle would break the show. So if some of the angles just delivered better, and that last match, it would have been better. But what can you say? Still, overall, a good show. And a good save overall. Really getting back into it. This save, just to ramble on a little bit more. I know this is a lot of ranting at this point. Kind of took a break. Kind of got a little, what's the word? Not bummed out, but like kind of burnt out. Yeah, burnt out on the save. But now that everything's back, hopefully I will try to crank out. I'm on spring break, so I should be able to crank out Night of Champions pretty fast. So we'll see how that goes, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Monday Night Raw.